Who is the father of accounting? Luca Pacioli is a father of accounting. So we have to know what is the exact profit and loss of the organization and financial statement of the organization or financial position of the organization. So in order to know that, it should always be measured in terms of money. Classification is nothing but grouping of the transactions of one nature at one place. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidyashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysore. My dear students, today we shall discuss chapter 1 of part A, that is Introduction to Accounting. So as I have already told you, there are two books in your first PUC, that is part A as well as part B. Under part A, today we are going to discuss about chapter 1, that is Introduction to Accounting. So in this chapter, what you are going to learn? So you are going to learn all the theory concepts relating to accounting. Since accountancy is a new subject for you, so you are going to learn all the theory concepts first and then you'll go for the practical problems. So we shall see what is this accounting is all about, where it is being used, what are the terms which are being used under accounting. So we shall discuss all these in this chapter. So from this chapter, you can expect 1 mark questions as well as 2 marks questions. So you can expect 1 mark as well as 2 marks question from this chapter. Now we shall quickly begin the session. Let us see about the introduction to accounting. So we shall see how this accounting has been introduced. So accounting is not a recent concept, so it is as old as human civilization. So if you see here, the history of accounting is as old as human civilization. So in earlier days itself, they used to keep the record of all the goods and services what they were rendered to the other persons. So it's nothing but accounting is as old as human civilization. The first book on double entry system. Now what is this double entry system? We shall study later, but whatever the systems of accounting what we are using today, so it is double entry system. The first book on double entry system of bookkeeping is a book on mathematics. So the first book is a book on mathematics called Summa. So here the name of the book is Summa de Arithmetica. Summa de Arithmetica. So this is the first book on mathematics where they have recorded all the recent, so whatever the accounting concepts what we are using today, so it was already written in that days itself on a book that is on mathematics named Summa de Arithmetica, written by Luca Pacioli. Now who have written this book? That is first book on accounting is written by Luca Pacioli. So Luca Pacioli is popularly known as father of accounting. So you have to remember this. Luca Pacioli. Now who is the father of accounting? Luca Pacioli is a father of accounting because he has written first time the concept of accounting in a mathematics book called Summa de Arithmetica, or you can just write the first book on accounting is Summa. That is, the first book on bookkeeping is Summa. The name of the book full name is Summa de Arithmetica, which is written by Luca Pacioli. So he is popularly known as father of accounting. So this is the introduction about accounting. Now moving further, let us see the definition of accounting. Now my dear students, you have to remember this definition. So this is one of the important definition of accounting. Now go through the definition here. According to American Institute of Certified Public Accountant. So here American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, that is AICPA. So this has defined accounting as Accounting is an art of recording. So accounting is what? It is the art of recording, classifying and summarizing. So here in accounting we will record the transaction. So before recording the transaction we have to know what type of transactions we have to record. So there are number of transactions which takes place in an organization. There are number of activities which takes place in an organization. So first we have to know what type of transaction that we have to record in the books of account, that is recording. So accounting is an art of recording, classifying. So after recording all the entries, we have to classify those entries depending upon their type. So we shall discuss later about it. So time being, you remember, accounting is an art of recording, where in an organization there will be number of activities which takes place daily. So first we have to know what type of transactions we have to record. Then after recording that transaction, we have to classify the transaction depending upon their type. And summarizing. Of course, we have classified the transaction. Now it has to be presented. So how it has to be presented? In the form of trading profit and loss account and balance sheet. So summarizing is nothing but what? How we are going to present that accounting statement. That is known as summarizing. In which manner? In a significant manner. So we have to present that in a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions and events. Now here you have to remember, in accounting the transactions of only monetary nature will be recorded. That is, the transactions which can be measured in terms of money only be recorded. Transactions and events. That is, the transaction should be of business only. So here when we are going to record the transaction, we have to see through that whether that transaction is measured in terms of money, at the same time whether that transaction belongs to that particular business or not. Only the transaction of that particular business will be recorded. So that is in terms of money, transactions and events which are in part at least of a financial character. So I have already told you, in accounting the transactions will be taken only in terms of financial character. In the sense, it should be measured in terms of money and interpreting the results thereof. So we have to make it understand. So after summarizing or after presenting that accounting results, so it should be in such a way that the users of accounting information should be able to draw conclusion on that accounting statement. That is interpreting the results. It is nothing but what? Drawing conclusion. So here the users of accounting information should draw conclusion by using that accounting statement. So this is one of the important definition and you have to learn this definition. So this definition is given by whom? According to American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So they have defined this definition of accounting. And my dear students, so there is a lot of difference between definition as well as meaning. So in definition, you have to write as it is, which is given by that particular institute or by a particular person. Whereas meaning you can write in your own words. So make sure that you will not miss out any of the word in this particular definition of accounting. Hope you are clear with the definition. Now we shall move on to the next concept, that is characteristics of accounting. Now you know about introduction to accounting. You know who is the father of accounting. We had learnt definition of accounting. Now we shall go through characteristics of accounting. So how accounting should be. So the first characteristics is that accounting is an art as well as science. So what is accounting? Accounting is an art. At the same time, it is science also. Now let us see why accounting is an art. Now we have understood accounting is an art of recording, classifying and summarizing, right? So it is called as what? art. So accounting is an art of recording, classifying and summarizing. So here we will record the transaction, and after recording the transaction, depending upon their type, we will classify that transaction and we will summarize the transaction. We will present that accounting statement what we are prepared to the users. That is recording, classifying and summarizing what type of transactions? Only business transactions. That is the transaction that takes place in that particular business with a view to ascertain the net profit and financial position. Now, why we have to maintain these books of accounts? That is in order to know whether the organization is in profit or loss, and in order to know the financial position of the business. That is in order to know what is the assets and what is the liability of the organization. So here business transactions are recorded, classified and summarized with a view to ascertain the net profit and financial position of the business enterprise. So it is called as an art. Hope you are clear with why accounting is called as an art. So why accounting is called as an art? Because it records, classifies and summarizes the business transaction in order to ascertain the net profit or net loss and financial position of the business. So for this reason, accounting is called as an art. Now let us see why accounting is called as a science. Accountancy or accounting is also a science, since it is also an organized body of knowledge. So here it is a science because it contains organized body of knowledge. It contains all the theory and practice of accounting. So it is called as what? Science. Organized body of knowledge based on specified principles and accounting standards. Because, so why it is called as a science? Because here accounting contains principles and standards to be followed while preparing the financial statements. So it is called as science. Hope you are clear with why accounting is called as both art as well as science. Art because it records, classifies and summarizes. At the end, it will help to prepare the profit and loss account and financial statement of the organization. And why it is called as a science? Because science is nothing but what? Body of knowledge. So here accounting is also a body of knowledge which contains number of principles and standards to be followed while maintaining the books of accounts. So this is the first characteristics of accounting. Now moving on to the second one, recording of financial transactions only. So remember here we are going to record only the financial transaction. Of course there are number of activities that takes place in a business which affects the profit of the business. For example, if an employee who is an efficient employee who leaves the organization, of course it is a great loss for the organization, right? Thereby it also affects the profit of the organization. But whether it is recorded in the books of account, that is the resignation of an employee, it is also a great loss for the organization. But whether we are going to record in the books of account? No, because it is not financial in nature. So in accounting, we will record only those transactions which are financial in nature. So only those transactions and events are recorded in accounting which are financial character. Of course, in definition itself, we have learned that. So we are going to record only the transactions of financial character or financial nature. There are so many transactions in the business which are very important for the business. For example, I had given the resignation of an efficient employee or a team leader who have resigned from the organization. Of course, it affects the profitability of the organization, but still we are not going to record in the books of accounts because it is not financial in nature, but which cannot be measured and expressed in terms of money, and hence such transactions will not be recorded. Hope you are clear with the second characteristics. We will record only those transactions. For example, sold goods worth rupees 50,000. Now, whether this transaction has to be recorded in the books of account? Yes, because it is measured in terms of money. So here it is measured in terms of money, rupees 50,000. But think about resignation of an employee. Whether it is measured in terms of money? No. So such type of transactions are not recorded. We will record only those transactions which can be measured in terms of money. Now moving on to the third characteristics, recording in terms of money. Of course, we have to identify that transactions in terms of money only, because we are going to keep the accounts, right? So we have to know what is the exact profit and loss of the organization and financial statement of the organization or financial position of the organization. So in order to know that, it should always be measured in terms of money. So this would be our third characteristic, that is recording in terms of money. So each transaction which is recorded in the books in terms of money only. Hope you are clear with the third characteristics. Now, fourth characteristics of accounting is classifying. Of course, I have told you we will record only those transactions, or we will record only the financial transactions which can be measured in terms of money. The next step is that we have to classify the transactions. As I have already told you, depending upon the nature of the transaction. First, we will record all the transactions. First, we will identify which transactions to be recorded. So, while identifying the transaction, we have to see through that whether that transaction is measured in terms of money or not, and at the same time, that transaction should belong to the business. So these two aspects we have to remember, and we will record all the transactions. After recording the transaction, so here while recording the transaction is of different nature as well as different type. Now under classifying, depending upon the type of transaction, we have to segregate them. That is known as what? Classifying. So here in recording, we will record all the transactions. In classifying, depending upon the type of transaction, we will segregate that. For example, all the transactions relating to purchase, will prepare an account, that is purchase account. In the same way, all the transactions relating to sales, we will segregate that and will prepare an account which is known as sales account. In the same way, all the transactions relating to cash, so that will be segregated and will prepare an account which is known as cash account. So that is known as what? Classifying. So after recording the transactions in journal or subsidiary books, the transactions are classified. Now, first we will record the transaction where? In the journal or subsidiary book. So we will learn about this journal as well as subsidiary book in your next chapters, it is upcoming chapters. Now time being, you remember in recording, we will record all the transactions in journal as well as subsidiary book. Now this is what? Journal or subsidiary books. That is, we will record the transaction. Classification is a process. Now, what do you mean by classification? Classification is a process of grouping the transaction. I have already told you, all the transactions relating to purchase, we will group together. That is known as what? Classification is nothing but grouping of the transactions of one nature at one place. So we will group the transaction of one nature in one place in a separate account. So we will prepare different types of account depending upon the nature of the transaction. So I have already told you, all the transactions relating to purchase, we will prepare purchase account and we will group together. In the same way, all the transactions relating to sales, we will group together and will prepare sales account. Clear? So this is about classification. The book in which the various accounts are opened is called as what? Ledger. For the first time, what we are going to record the transaction, this is called as journal or subsidiary book, whereas this grouping of the transactions will be made in one particular book which is called as what? Ledger. Hope you are clear with this. So, all the transactions will be recorded in one particular book, that is journal. After classification, so that classification of the books is called as what? Ledger. Separate accounts are opened in the ledger in the name of each person, whether customer or supplier. So here I have already told you, depending upon the nature, we will prepare different types of accounts, that is in the ledger. Likewise, separate accounts are opened for purchase, sales, assets, etc. Similarly, all expenses and incomes which are already recorded in journal are again classified under separate heads in the ledger, such as wages account, salary account, advertisement account, commission account, like that. So here individually we are going to group that transaction and will prepare different types of accounts. For example, for expenses we will prepare salary account, wages account, commission account, advertisement account, like that we will individually group the transaction. So that process is called as what? Classification. Now moving on to the next one, summarizing. Now we have classified the transaction. Now what we have to do? We have to present that transaction in front of the users of accounting information. So there are number of users. So there are number of persons who are dependent or who are eager to know the financial position of the organization, who are called as users of financial information. Now, what do you mean by summarizing? So, once we have classified the transaction, now we have to make it together and we have to present that transaction in front of the users, that is accounting information users. So, we have to present that accounting information in front of users, that is known as what? Summarizing. So summarizing is an art of presenting the classified data in the manner which is understandable and used to the management and other users of such data. Now what you have to do? We have classified the transaction. Now we have to present that transaction. So presenting of the classified information in front of the users in understandable manner is called as what? Summarizing. So this involves the balancing of ledger accounts and preparation of trial balance with the help of the ledger balancers. So how we have to present the financial position or financial statement? First we have to balance the ledger accounts as well as preparation of trial balance. So we will learn about this trial balance. So this is a new word for you. So we will learn about this trial balance. So time being, you remember, presentation is nothing but how we are going to present that financial information in front of the users in an understandable manner is called as summarizing. Final accounts are prepared with the help of trial balance, which include trading and profit and loss account and balance sheet. So how we are going to present this financial information? In the form of trading and profit and loss account as well as balance sheet. So this is the, now trading and profit and loss account is an account, whereas balance sheet is what? It is a statement. So this account and statement is prepared at the end of the financial year to know the financial position of the business. So after classification, we will present that classified data in the form of trading and profit and loss account, where we'll come to know the profit and loss of the business. So we'll come to know the profit and loss of the business at the same time in the form of balance sheet in order to know the financial position of the business. So this is the presentation of classified data. So trading account is prepared for calculation of gross profit or gross loss during the year. So why trading account is prepared? In order to know the gross profit or gross loss of the business. At the same time, profit and loss account is prepared to ascertain the net profit or net loss during the year. Now I have already told you the presentation is made in the form of trading and profit and loss account. Now this much is one particular account. So trading and profit and loss account is one account, where half will be trading account and the rest half will be profit and loss account. So first we'll prepare the trading account, where we'll come to know the gross profit or gross loss. Then continuation of that will be profit and loss account, where we'll come to know the net profit or net loss of the business. Next, the other statement to be prepared is balance sheet. Now why balance sheet is prepared? In order to know the financial position of the business. So this is about the presentation of financial information in the form of trading and profit and loss account as well as balance sheet of the organization. So this is summarizing. So this is also one of the characteristics of accounting. Next, sixth point is that interpretation of the results. So what do you mean by interpretation of the results? Now you have presented the accounting information to the users. Now by using that information, so the user should be able to draw a conclusion. That is known as what? Interpretation. So in accounting, the results of the business are presented to the users in the form of trading and profit and loss account as well as balance sheet that the parties interested, it's nothing but users of accounting information in the business such as proprietor, manager, banks, creditor, employees, etc. can have full information. So once the information has been presented to the users, so the user should get full information from that accounting statement. That is known as what? Interpretation of accounting information. That is, they will get the full information about the profitability and the financial position of the business. So this is about interpretation. So summarizing is different. Summarizing is nothing but how we are going to present the accounting information, whereas interpretation is nothing but how they will get the full information about the financial position of the organization as well as the profitability of the business. So by seeing the accounting statement, so here the users should come to know whether the organization is in profit or loss, and they have to come to know the financial position of the business. In the sense, they should get full information by this trading and profit and loss account as well as balance sheet. That is known as what? Interpretation of the results. Next, seventh characteristics is that communicating. Now, accounting attributes also include the communication of the financial data to the users who analyze them as per the individual requirements. So I have already told you there are a number of persons who are dependent on this accounting information, who are eager to know about the accounting information. For example, persons inside the organization itself. So it may be the employees, presidents, manager, vice president of the organization. Of course, they have to know what is the profitability of the organization. At the same time, the users who are outside the organization, who are called as external users. For example, customers, financial institutions where the organization have borrowed loan, and at the same time suppliers. So all these individuals will be eagerly want to know what is the financial position of the organization because they are interlinked with each other. So here the last stage of accounting is to communicate that financial result to the users in whatever aspect they want. So for example, financial institution, of course they have to provide the financial statement to the financial institution from where the organization have borrowed loan, because the financial institution should be able to know whether the organization is in a position to repay that loan or not. So for that reason, they have to communicate that information for the users. So there are two types of users. One is internal users, and the other one is external users. Now, who are internal users? So these are the users of accounting information who are inside the organization. Who are inside the organization are called as what? Internal users. So you can give lot of examples for internal users. So it may be purchase manager, sales manager, president, vice president, CEO, employees. So these are the internal users who are inside the organization. Whereas coming to the external users, so these are the users of accounting information who are outside the organization. So it may be customers or banks or any other financial institutions from where the organization have borrowed loan, suppliers. So these are the external users of accounting information. Hope you are clear with the characteristics of accounting. Now we shall see what are the objectives of accounting. Let us see what are the main objectives of accounting. So if you see the first objective here, the following are the main objectives or utility of accounting. So the first objective is that to keep the systematic record of business transactions. Of course, I have told you there are number of transactions which takes place daily in an organization. So through this accounting, it helps to keep the systematic record, because whenever the transaction have occurred in the business, so it will be immediately recorded in the books of account, that is in the form of journal or subsidiary books, right? So it will help to keep the systematic record of business transaction. So there may be number of transactions which takes place daily, but it is quite difficult to remember each and every transaction at the end of financial year. In such cases, this accounting, so what the accounting will do, immediately when the transaction have occurred in the business, so it will be immediately recorded in the books of account, so that it will help us to keep the systematic record of this financial statement, that is business transaction. Now moving on to the second one, to calculate the profit and loss. Of course, I have told you at the end of the financial year, so what the organization will do? The organization will prepare trading profit and loss account, trading and profit and loss account. So by preparing this trading and profit and loss account, they will come to know what is the exact profit and loss of the organization. So whether the organization is in profit or in that financial year, or it is in loss in that particular financial year. That is, in order to calculate the profit and loss, this accounting is very important. Next is to know the exact reason leading to net profit or net loss. That is, after preparing profit and loss account, we'll come to know the net profit and net loss of the organization, right? Having a proper books of account, by maintaining a proper books of account, we'll come to know what is the exact reason leading to net profit or net loss. Sometimes the organization may be in profit, sometimes the organization may be in loss. So during that situation, by having a proper books of account or by maintaining a proper books of account, so the organization will come to know why this year they have incurred so much loss. So what would be the reason? So it helps them to rectify their errors, and in the next financial year, they may work out on that particular aspect where they are very weak and they can earn the profit. So it helps to know the reasons for net profit as well as net loss. And the next one is to ascertain the financial position. So by preparing trading and profit and loss account, we'll come to know the net profit and net loss. By preparing the balance sheet, we'll come to know the financial position. So financial position can be ascertained by preparing the balance sheet at the end of the financial year in order to know the total assets as well as total liabilities of the organization. So by having a proper books of account, we can ascertain the financial position of the organization. And the next one is to ascertain the progress of the business from one year to another year. Of course, this trading profit and loss account as well as the balance sheet, that is the financial statement. Overall, we will call it as financial statement. So it will be prepared at the end of the financial year. So in each and every year, they will prepare the financial statement in order to know the financial position of the business, so that they can compare from one year to another year. So here the comparison can be made. For example, in 2019, they might earn a profit of rupees 5 lakh. Whereas in 2020, they might earn a profit of rupees 6 lakh. Whereas in 2021, they might earn a profit of rupees 4 lakh. Decrease in profit. So by maintaining a proper financial statement, so we can compare from one year to another. So if you see from 2019 to 2020, there was increase in a profit of rupees 1 lakh. But when compared to 2020 and 2021, it has been drastically decreased. So it has been decreased by how much? Rupees 2 lakh. So this comparison can be made if they maintain a proper financial statement. Next is to prevent and detect errors as well as frauds. So by maintaining a proper books of accounts, as I told you, there are a number of transactions which takes place daily, and it is very difficult to remember each and every transactions. So in such cases, they will record that transaction in the books of account as and when it has been occurred. But there may be a chances that some errors might have occurred or some frauds which has been committed. Now, what do you mean by an error? So it is an unintentional mistake which is made in an organization while recording in the books of account is called as what? Errors. So it is what? Unintentional mistakes. Whereas fraud is what? It is an intentional mistake. So fraud is what? In order to cheat the organization, there may be a chances that the accountant might have intentionally misappropriated the cash. In such cases, it leads to intentional mistakes, so which is known as frauds. So by keeping proper books of account, it will help us to detect the errors as well as frauds in the organization. And the next one is to prevent or to provide information to various parties. So it's nothing but the users of accounting information. As I have already told you, it's not just that only the business is eager to know the financial position of the business, but there are a number of individuals. So I have already discussed about it. So who are called as internal users and external users. So there are a number of users who wants to know the financial results of the organization. So by having a proper financial statement or by recording a proper financial statement, so it helps to provide the information to the various parties. So it may be internal users or external users. So these are the few objectives of accounting. Hope you have understood all the objectives of accounting. So in today's session, we have discussed about introduction to accounting, definition of accounting, characteristics of accounting, as well as objectives of accounting. So in my next session, I am going to discuss these few concepts, that is bookkeeping, accounting, as well as accountancy. So there are totally different terms, so which has a different meaning. So let us discuss what is this bookkeeping, what is accounting, as well as accountancy. And the next topic is interested users of information. Already we have discussed today, there are various users who are called as internal users and external users. Let us see who are the interested users of this accounting information. Next, branches of accounting. So accounting is not just that recording the transaction in the books of account. Its scope is much wider than that. Let us see how this accounting has many branches. So what are the branches of accounting? Next, qualitative characteristics of accounting information. So after preparing the financial statement, we'll get the accounting information. That is nothing but the profit and loss as well as the financial position of the business. Let us see what are the qualitative characteristics. So how this accounting information should be. So what are the qualitative characteristics of accounting information? So these are the few topics what I'm going to discuss in my next session. So my dear students, I have already told you from this chapter, you can expect 1 mark as well as 2 marks question. So make sure that you will go through all the theory concepts here. So you will have only theory concept in this chapter. So you will expect or you can get the questions of 1 mark as well as 2 marks from this chapter. My dear students, hope you have understood the session. See you all in my next session with the new topics. Till then, take care. Thank you.